Well, hello again and welcome aboard. This is Bug Eater 64 and today we're going to be flying the EV-55 from John Wayne Airport, Santa Ana, California to San Diego International. There's our little bird, the EV-55. Yes, thank you, SimBuddy. And as you can tell, this is going to be a passenger flight with SimBuddy, Virtual Airlines. So let's go ahead and get the passengers loaded and get ready to be on our way. And get on board. I've got the doors open for you and everything. Come on in. Take a seat. We'll have a little music for you. Get your seat belted in. You're welcome. And get you ready to roll. Okay, now we got the passengers taken care of. Let's just start to get our airplane up and running. And if you haven't seen it before, you can tell this is a high-wing, twin-engine, turboprop aircraft. And this is the beta version that we're still working kinks out. It's not in the public yet, but it's one we're working on. And these, you can see some of the things that are coming. If you don't have this version yet, those of you that did purchase the earlier version, when this comes out, you will be getting the update free of charge. About the only update you may eventually have to pay for is when they come out one that has floats, if that rendition does happen. So here we go. We have the Garmin 530 here, which is fully functional. And I'm just going to make it's a straightforward flight from Santa Ana down to San Diego. So we're just going to go ahead and get that taken care of. So this was our flight basically yesterday when we came in from San Diego to Santa Ana. And not always using my brain power as well as I should have just gone to the menu and reversed the flight plan. But I decided I had to do it the hard way. So there we go. Just a direct flight. So we got it set on GPS, and we'll basically take care of this 430. Make sure we've got all the same information in both of them. And go ahead and activate our San Diego leg. And put it on GPS. Wouldn't do to forget that. I hate confusing the autopilot. And since it's such a short flight, we're just going to be right around 3,000 feet, which unfortunately I'm not real good at setting. But we'll get it close. It's fighting me. Looks close enough. I'm not going to get it to 3,000, I don't think. Yeah, close enough. All right. We're not using ATC, so they won't mind anyway. Set our transponder to 1200. and set up the autopilot for nav. And let's see, we'll go ahead and set our vertical speed for about 500, I think. Maybe 800. Yeah, 500 is good. Okay, so we got our Garmin set up. We've got our autopilot ready. Let's go ahead and double check our fuel and RPM. Okay, throttles work good. RPM set at basically a slow taxi speed. Okay, we got the beacon on so they know what we're doing. And this is better pushback. Yeah. First time I've used it, so I wanted to show you how it works. It's kind of neat. This is a little airplane. A lot of times, situations like this, I can go ahead and reverse thrust and excuse me, and back it up. But today I'm going to go ahead and they have a tug that's actually designed for smaller aircraft, and you'll get to see it here. So with better pushback, which is a free plug-in you can download from explain.org, and I'm quite happy with it. It works better than the stock. I like it better than the stock X-Plane 11 pushback system. So I'll just give you an idea what it looks like here and get it set up and get things moving. One of the things I like about this pushback system is, one, you can make adjustments to it. You tell exactly where you want the airplane pushed back to, and the interaction between the ground crew working with the airplane and the crew in the aircraft is better. And I think you'll see that here once we get it going.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Well, I thought I did, but I'm still learning this thing too, so.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Okay. We'll keep trying till we get it right. Okay, so this is not where we want to go here. Now I'm going to turn the airplane and place it right where I want to go.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
So here we go. And here comes our little tug. It's not like the big ones. Actually designed for smaller type airplanes. So he's going to pull up and hook us up and move us.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Very good. Go ahead and connect. Kind of see him inching into it there, and then he gets out.
Winching strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
No, thank you. Okay, so park and brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
And since this was my first time using this particular pushback program, I wanted to kind of watch it. So yeah, I didn't go ahead and start engines. I was a little bit worried about that cargo carrier coming down the ramp there, but he did stop. Otherwise it would have been ugly. Okay, so start getting this thing ready to start up.
Hey. Quit blinding me with your taxi light. Turn it off.
Okay, sorry. So, start the right engine first, introduce fuel. And everything appears to be starting up properly.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
exactly where I requested him to do it, which I thought was kind of cool. No guesswork. Turn the generator on. Alright, let's start the left engine. Introduce fuel.
Noise disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you, sir. You see, he'll pull off to the left. Okay, we've got our taxi lights on and our landing lights. Okay, ground steering still good. Release the brake. Yeah, it looks like we're about ready to go. You can see him standing over there on the left. I just think that's a really neat little plug-in. With a neat little airplane. EV-55, just a lot of fun to fly. Very capable. You know, great airplane for the puddle jumper fleet. Not real fast. About top speed on this and maintain stability with that speed is about 190 knots. So you can push it pretty hard for a small airplane. And landing speeds, to really do it nicely, which I'm still having problems with, is that it doesn't like to land real slow. So we'll get to that when we get ready. Right now we're going to give it full mixture. Get ready to give it full prop RPMs, and we'll get ready to take off here from Santa Ana, California. And here we go. Our ground steering, I should have done that earlier, but that'll work still. Airspeed is alive. And rotate. And we have positive rate, landing gear up. bring the flaps up. And we'll start to turn onto our heading, and then we'll get the autopilot on. Very friendly handling airplane, but if you don't respect her, she will bite you. And as I said, especially on landing, so at optimum.
November 04 X-ray Papa.
Thank you. She's not talking to us. Kind of find a sweet spot is between 90 and 100, 105. Good flying little airplane. Whether you're an expert pilot or just a beginner, this airplane isn't bad. Not bad at all. Turn off our taxi lights now. And we'll be cutting back a little bit on our power. Prop RPMs back a little bit. Autopilot on. So, here we are. Now it's a straight shot to San Diego. Weather is brought to you with the clouds of X-Plane 11 stop. And like most turboprops, it's noisy outside. It's a little noisy inside, but not quite as bad. And our ground textures are brought to you by Ortho for X-Plane. Ortho for XP. Now the livery you see on the EV-55 there, that's my personal livery, which I put on a variation of it on almost all my airplanes, and I use basically freeware. Paint.net is the paint program that I use, and it seems to work quite well, and it's easy to use too. Santa Ana area, heading out to the beach. We'll be flying a good portion of the flight over water, so I won't make you sit through all of that. But right now, just kind of look around the cockpit, make sure we're on heading, and we're joining up with our purple line. Fly the purple. Climbing at just under 500 feet a minute. And set our altitude. build our airspeed up. I almost let it get too low. But it's a beautiful day in Southern California, just scattered clouds, and I'm using real world weather and real world time. So what you see is what you get in Southern California right now. With local time, yep. So we're flying along nicely. Aircraft is performing just as advertised. Straight and level and moving right along. I could push the power up and speed her up, but I don't really see any need for it. Water everywhere, not a drop to drink. And we don't want to do it anyway right now. That would be a bad thing. I don't want to practice my digital skills. So, off to the right there, just off the right wingtip in front, we got a sailboat. And then we got the local communities in Southern California. Won't be long now, we'll be making a start heading to our approach, but I'm not going to make you sit through all of that. But the orthos do look good. Gives you a good idea of what Southern California looks like with all the congested housing. Great beaches. All right then, let's go ahead and check the San Diego ATIS.
San Diego Int'l information, Quebec. 2100 Zulu weather. Wind 220 at 7, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 4700 scattered, temperature dew.11. Altimeter 2986. Arriving runway 09, departing runway 09. Advise on initial contact, you have Quebec.
Okay, 2986 for altimeter and runway I'll get it right. It's only got the one runway, 27 and 09. So, and today they're using 09 with prevailing winds. So that's where we're gonna head. About 20 miles to go. About 9 minutes, just over 9 minutes. Like I said, most of it's over water. Really not a terrible lot to see. I probably could have cut out much more of this, but you know, I just like to fly. And I figure the people that enjoy looking at my videos like to fly too. So they can watch as much or as little of this video as they want. And I will welcome them to it. The idea here is to have fun, and I have fun bringing it to you. So sit back, buckle up, and enjoy. Good fishing and scuba diving and snorkeling out here. Spent a lot of years living out in California. Used to do a lot of sailing racing. But unfortunately, as much as I would enjoy living back out there, it's just too awfully expensive. So everything else is looking good. Airplane is flying perfectly. No worries. Yeah, we're doing about 125 knots. I can push it up, but I just don't see a purpose. Yeah, let's set it up for ILS 09. Basically due east 090. Oh, scenery. Yeah, it doesn't like my El Centro scenery. So it gives me that warning. But the orthos and scenery seem to be working fine. Miles, 6.5 minutes. San Diego, the city, the main city. And the airport is just this side of it. And Coronado Bridge, which goes over to the naval base. I'm sure a lot of things have changed since I was out there. Did some training years and years and years ago. Coronado. I can remember when they didn't have the bridge, they just had a ferry. Used to go down just for fun, and we'd ride the ferry back and forth, back and forth. All right, let's get ready to start our descent. Set our vertical speed. And just about, let's see. Yeah, 500 feet a minute will be good. All right, so start slowing things down a little bit more. Not too much though. We'll get down to just about 15 or just a little less than 1,500 feet. And we'll go ahead and put altitude hold back on until we get down to where we're going to make our base and final approach. Yeah, what you can't see is my co-pilot's picking on me right now, but she's so good to me. She's gonna get me some coffee. She's an awesome co-pilot though. Put up with my flight shenanigans and traveling around the world for 34 years. Bless her heart. God willing and the creeks don't rise, we'll get 34 more. Can you imagine what flight sims will be like by then? Oh, I'm already having a wonderful time with virtual reality. I stuck my head out the window, got noisy. Oh, that's silly. But that's me. It's not the sim. That's me. Push my track IR too far. but we are getting there. Okay, autopilot is off. Airplane is mine. Which probably became pretty obvious when I started steering the thing. I'm doing multitasking here, not doing a real good job of it. Sorry about that. Please do forgive me. Okay, we've got a sync rate of about 250 feet a minute. Kind of flying along the coast here. The airport's going to be off to our left. I think from next flight I'm going to have to change my visual aspect. I'm sitting a little bit too low in the seat. I need to lift up a little bit. So I'll have to make some adjustments, but gives you a good look at the cockpit though. It's just a really fine little airplane. It's a lot of fun to fly. I take it a little more seriously when I'm, flying a virtual airline flight, because I want to keep the passengers happy, land safe, so I don't play around like I would when I'm just doing a fun flight. I do really crazy stuff when we're just doing fun flights, but Diego Int'l, a friend of mine who is the proprietor and CEO of Soulless Wings, who I subcontract with my Air America Duet, which is my airline, charter service primarily. And so I do flights for him, and I want to make money for his company in the virtual world. So that's why I try to behave myself when I'm flying these airplanes. That just got a chuckle out of my co-pilot. Landing gear coming down. And we're going to start turning into a fairly long final. Keep the airspeed between 90 and 100, but it's interesting because this airplane on landing, I'm slowly learning that you almost have to fly it all the way to the runway. It does have a tendency of floating a little bit, as you'll see. Unfortunately, to be honest, this landing is a perfect testament to how little runway you actually need, because I floated this thing 3/4 of the way down the runway. The landing wasn't bad, it just took a long time to get to the ground. But that being said, my passengers were happy, nobody was worried, nobody scared, so no deductions for that. This is basically a short landing takeoff type airplane. Very robust landing gear. The airplane itself in the real world is designed for rough landing areas, dirt, grass, things like that. So it's got a very robust, very strong landing gear. And on occasion I have tested it. Today, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't, you know, but the problem is if you get it too slow, you may be doing 60 knots, something like that. You get close to the ground. The ground effect really doesn't hit the airplane, and it'll fall out of the sky. So, you know, it's trying to find that sweet spot, and I'm learning this airplane. I need to fly it more. But I got so many aircraft I like to fly, helicopters as well as fixed wing. Been doing some beta testing for the developer of this airplane, and you know, love to help people out. And he has done such a fine job on this airplane. It is so much fun, and you can't beat the price on the org for this thing. You know, less than $20. And you get a real fun, fine looking airplane to fly. Good power, good range. You know, not the fastest thing in the world, but whoop, a little clear air turbulence there. Keeping our speed up, about 105 right now. Down a little off to the left of center. And now see, I'm gain speed. Just slow it down. I'm floating. Oh, William. At least keep it on the runway. Whoops. Running out of runway. And we're down. Full reversers. If you haven't guessed, hard on the brakes. But we're here, we're safe, passengers are happy. Turn on our ground steering, nose steering, and get off the main runway. We've got a long taxi down to parking. But hey, we're all in one piece. So I don't know about you. I don't have any complaints. I was simply, and this is my story and I'm sticking to it, I wanted to show the passengers and you, my fellow flyers, just how good this particular aircraft and airframe is for short landings. And I think I did that. So let's pull back the RPMs. Parking up on the left here. Pull back the mixture to ground idle. We've got a parking spot right up here on the left that we're going to be pulling into, and it's just to the right of that jet you see there. So we didn't bend the airplane, we didn't scratch the airplane, we didn't scare or worry any of the passengers. So all in all, in my book, since it's a flight we can walk away from, and any flight you can walk away from is a good flight, this was a good flight. I'm not saying it couldn't be better, because when I'm flying they always can be, but this was a good flight. Park here right next to this Air Alaska or Alaskan Airlines, and we'll shut things down and get our passengers off. See how many of them kiss the tarmac because they're so glad to be on the ground safely. They're standing around waiting. They're going to see their pilot kiss the tarmac because he's so glad to be down safe. Okay, brake applied. Engine shutting down. Okay. Unbuckle, music off. Passengers are leaving. See ya. Hope you enjoyed the flight. So, close down our SimBuddy connection. We'll look at the results later. Get ready to put our airplane to bed here. But before we do that, for those of you that might enjoy it, we're going to look at that landing again. You know, since I used 3/4 of the runway, I can, like I said, just show you how little runway is actually needed for this airplane to safely stop. So here we are. Stable little airplane. I did have some cross breeze, so you know, that didn't help me much. But at the same time, trying to get her down. This airplane just likes to fly. Yep, here we go. That was bad. And we're down. Full reversers on. Hard on the brakes. Wheel steering engaged. So, down safe. So, let's look at that from the tower view. Here we come. Now, if I'd feathered that throttle back even more, this would have, you know, been a really good landing. But it's the airspeed thing that I get a little tense about with this aircraft. And it's not the airplane's fault. It's just it's unique to this little airplane. The MU-2 was the same way. You had to land it faster because it was more of a high performance airplane. Thank you, co-pilot. I have my coffee in hand, so now I can carry on with my dissertation of the EV-55 and not its failings, but my failings as a pilot. So I sped up the video a little bit here. Because I know you didn't want to sit through that long taxiway to the parking area. So we'll just speed things up a bit, get her moving. So I can let all you fine people that have watched this video be on your way to bigger and better things. So let's race to our parking spot. But you can't go wrong with this airplane. You really can't. You know. And I don't get paid a thing, not a single penny, to say these things about, you know, building up this airplane. I just like it. I think the developer has done a fine job with this. You can't beat it for its price point on the org. It's just a really fine little airplane. Oops, I got the reversers on. I didn't realize that. Did you see how easy it is to back up this plane if you want to? Again, another demonstration. So we'll pull up here, park, shut down. And we will call it a flight. I want to thank everybody for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoy bringing it to you. Like, I do this strictly for fun. I hope you have fun. Any comments you may have on how you think I can make it better, do things better, please don't hesitate to make comments. I read them all. I listen to them. And I appreciate them. So, constructive criticism is always welcome. Anyway. This is BugEater64. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you come back again. And until that next time, as I always say, safe flying.